In recent years, the prices of goods and services have been increasing steadily. Due to the surges in prices of goods and services, it affects the people's daily life, from food and transportation to housing and daily necessities. Many consumers are finding it difficult to cope with the rising cost of living. But have you ever wondered why the prices of goods and services keep increasing? There are several key factors that contribute to this situation. Firstly, by an increase in the money supply. When more money is circulating in the economy, people have greater purchasing power and tend to spend more. As demand for goods and services increases, businesses may raise their prices, leading to inflation. Secondly, by an increase in the cost of raw materials affects production costs. When the prices of these materials rise, producers face higher expenses. This situation will affect the consumers through higher selling prices. Thirdly, by the expansion of the sales and service tax, or SST, may contribute to higher prices. When more goods and services become subject to SST, businesses may increase their prices. Therefore, consumers end up paying more for everyday products and services. Finally, higher oil prices have a significant impact, especially on construction sites. Fuel is needed to operate heavy machinery, transport materials, and carry out various construction activities. Fuel is needed to operate heavy machinery, transport materials, and carry out various construction activities. When oil prices increase and construction costs rise, it can lead to higher prices for buildings and business operations. Due to the surge in the prices of goods and services, many people face a greater financial burden. This makes it more difficult for them to save money and manage their monthly expenses. As a result, many individuals and families experience financial stress and anxiety.
Inflation?
Farmers now have to pay more to fill their bellies. Chief Statistician Uzair Mahidin said the increase in food prices continue to be a major contributor to inflation.
Malaysians have been advised to brace for price adjustments for certain goods as the world enters the second wave of a global crisis induced by the conflict in the Middle East. Deputy Prime Minister Fadillah Yusof said the world, including Malaysia, was entering the second wave of the crisis, shifting from energy price shocks to disruptions in oil and gas-based supply chains.
But still, the Malaysian government is under increasing pressure from people over the rising cost of living and inflation. Opposition parties and student groups are taking to the streets regularly to voice their frustration.
Students can't afford to buy meals. Each meal is 7 to 8 ringgit. How can they afford this kind of things, kan?
Some of them will skip meals, which is not ideal. Our food security is also threatened together with the rising cost of living.
Malaysia memang jatuh, habis mesti naik lah. Barang-barang kalau import mesti naik sikit lah.
Makanan naik, ayam hidup pun naik.
Harga beras naik, kita terpaksa naikkan sedikit. Sebelum ni nasi putih kita boleh dapat RM1 atau RM1.50. Sekarang kita terpaksa naikkan satu bungkus dia RM2.
To actually mean by the surge in prices of goods and services. In economics, this situation called as inflation, which refer to the continuous rise of price level. But why inflation matter to us?
It is because inflation reduces our purchasing power. When the cost of living increases faster than our income, the value of our money decreases.
As a result, people may face difficulties to afford basic necessities that could affect standard of living, mental well-being, and even the stability of the economy.
I need let's go there. I want to buy instant noodle. Okay. Oh my god. What's wrong? Back then it was 4 ringgit and now it's 8 ringgit.
That's nothing. Look at this egg. It costs 50 ringgit now.
Ame, look at these two baskets. Why is one fuller than the other? Because the full basket cost 50 ringgit 4 years ago. Oh. But this one it just eggs, vanilla, oil, and only the rice. Yeah, exactly. For this small basket, is what 50 ringgit can buy today. For prices is really increased. I know, right? Because both of this is 750 ringgit, but this one is a favor item. Yes, I agree with you.
I'm a student. The increasing in prices is really affecting my monthly budget, and I should to use it wisely on my necessary items such as food, transportation, and my daily expenses.
I think the rising prices affected my expenses in terms of the foods, the transportation fees and fuel, and also for my study materials.
In my opinion, it's very harder for me to manage my expenses lately, since after the crisis, the price of goods and services become higher, and I need to spend wisely.
How I manage my spending when the price keep increasing. Firstly, I will make a simple budget where I list my expenses and allowance so that I can keep track. Secondly, I will focus on need before wants, which is I focus on spending money for food, schooling material, and transportation before shopping. Last but not least, I will save a little every month because it can cover emergency expenses.
Kesan kenaikan harga barang pada keluarga saya adalah begitu tinggi kerana dia melibatkan tambahan ataupun belanjaan yang lebih besar untuk mendapatkan perkara yang sama sebelum ini. Dan kalau sebelum ini kita boleh mendapat bakalan makanan, minuman, minyak yang lebih murah. Tetapi sekarang ni dia telah meningkatkan perbelanjaan keluarga. Contohnya dari segi makanan, mana harga makan di kedai pun sudah meningkat. Itu juga dengan minum pun sama. Kalau sebelum ni harga minuman mungkin murah, sekarang ni dia telah pun meningkat. Itu dengan perbelanjaan barangan dapur dan sebagainya. Dan satu lagi kesan adalah terutama dari segi kos minyak, di mana tambang telah meningkat, utamanya kita menggunakan laluan udara, di mana kos dia meningkat begitu ketara sekali berbanding sebelum ini.
I think the biggest challenge is the higher cost and the lower profit.
There are some things that I have done to reduce spending on my side. First, during lunch hour at my workplace, I will tend to eat at cafe for the subsidized meal because most important, it is free. Second, before doing grocery shopping, I will make a list first so that I will buy only essential items at the market and also to avoid over budget. That's all.
When prices are increasing, I manage my money by budgeting and organizing it into categories. I use Aeon Bank features to divide my money based on my needs, such as makeup, handbags, and clothes, or anything essential. This helps me clearly see how much I can spend in each category and avoid overspending. I also limit myself to buy one non-essential item per month, so I stay disciplined and only purchase things I truly want.
Changes that I've made is I didn't go out as often as I always do because the fuel price during these days is very high.
How it affects my daily life is mostly how much food costs nowadays, and also how much grocery costs nowadays. Because you cannot find food, especially outside, put under 400 nowadays, which is such a big difference from just a few years ago, especially chicken rice or even nasi lemak, for example. I cannot, especially here, I cannot find it cheaper than 500. Even the stock prices on chicken to cook at home, groceries, normal groceries, cost way more than how it is last time.
In my opinion, the government should focus to give more financial assistance towards the lower income group, and also monitor the prices for the essential foods at the supermarket, and also improve the public transportation in Sarawak.
From my perspective, many people are already trying to manage their spending carefully. So I believe that government can support this by encouraging savings program offering tax relief or incentive for responsible financial planning. This helps people become more independent while still receiving support.
Government can reduce taxation. Yeah. So the living price can reduce.
I think subsidy is very helpful, especially for nowadays. The government should implement the food subsidy and transportation subsidy.
In my opinion, the government to reduce the public burden is by increasing the financial aids and give the public more opportunity in increasing the job opportunity to reduce the financial stress.
The other types of subsidies that are recommend is the government should pay more attention to the youth, as they have a lot to pay and they need a lot of money or subsidies. As for example, they need to pay their university annual fee and some other related things that relate to the university.
The government maybe should focus more on the families that are not able to afford much, especially the B40s, because maybe what the government can do is lower the prices for them. Maybe they can use their IC to pay. Maybe they can get more money in the subsidies, maybe, just to help the B40s. If helping everyone is difficult, maybe help the people who actually are in need of help.
Memang kerajaan kita banyak memberi bantuan kepada terutamanya pada golongan yang memerlukan, yang itu golongan di bawah B atau golongan dalam B40 di mana bantuan tunai diberikan kepada mereka. Begitu juga kerajaan memberi subsidi dan ke atas barang kawalan keperluan pengguna contohnya terutamanya bahan api dan juga gas, di mana kerajaan menggunakan peruntukan yang tinggi untuk membiayai subsidi tersebut. Sekiranya tiada subsidi diberi, terutamanya untuk bahan api, memang rakyat begitu terkesan sangat akibat daripada kenaikan kos sara hidup pada masa sekarang.
To conclude, the rising prices of goods and services are driven by various local and global economic factors. The impact is felt by families, students, and businesses in their daily lives.
The government should take action on this issue. So we as a consumer should practice wise spending habit and manage our financial carefully. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for listening.
I just had to let you know you're